Welcome to today's deep dive. What if humanity's greatest technological achievement, like the internet, is actually just a fragile, crude copy of a biological grid?
Right, a grid that's been running perfectly beneath your feet since, well, before the first animal brain even existed.
Yeah, that is exactly our focus today. We are pulling from this brilliant Substack article by Spiral Seeker titled "The Internet is Actually 600 Million Years Old." And our mission today is to explore how the foundation of human digital infrastructure was actually engineered by fungi.
Yeah, way back during the Ediacaran period. And to really grasp the scale of this ancient internet, we first have to look at how it moves physical data.
Right, because it mirrors our own digital architecture.
Exactly. I mean, the mycelial network connects about 90% of terrestrial plant species,
Mhm.
and it literally uses a form of packet switching that is, extremely similar to TCP/IP.
Okay, let's unpack this, because TCP/IP breaks a digital photo into data packets, shoots them across the world, and reassembles them. How does DIRT manage packet switching?
Well, it uses biochemicals instead of digital code. The fungus packages resources like phosphorus, carbon, or defensive compounds into these tiny tagged vesicles.
Oh, wow.
You can think of them as microscopic shipping containers. They carry specific chemical delivery tags, and the network routes them through a process called cytoplasmic streaming.
Hold on, so this is basically an underground Amazon fulfillment network, but instead of cardboard boxes, it's delivering vesicles of nitrogen.
That's a perfect analogy. And it is actively rerouting those packages based on demand.
Based on which plant is putting out like a biological five-star SOS? Because cytoplasmic streaming is basically the fluid inside the fungal cells physically flowing like a river, right?
The cytoplasm acts as this fluid conveyor belt. And large, mature hud trees in the forest act as high-bandwidth routers.
Wait, trees are routers.
Yeah. They detect which plants are struggling and physically alter the fluid pressure of this inner river to push the tagged vesicles exactly where they are needed.
So instead of digital data flowing down a wire, it's an active, demand-driven system. But wait, if they are actively routing complex deliveries, how exactly are the nodes communicating their demands?
Well, that's the big question, right?
Are they actually, speaking to each other, or is it more like a binary machine code?
It's structured data transmission. So a 2022 study in Royal Society Open Science actually mapped this out. They found that mycelial networks transmit electrical signals structurally similar to action potentials.
Wait, action potentials, like the exact same electrical spikes our own neural pathways use.
Yes, identical in structure. The fungus is literally sending electrical pulses through the soil.
But electrical spikes could just be random static, right? Like, are they actually communicating?
Well, the researchers identified a vocabulary of up to 50 distinct words within those spikes. But the real proof is that the frequency of these words perfectly follows Zipf's law.
Oh, Zipf's law. That's the linguistic rule where the most common word in the language is used twice as often as the second most common, and so on, right?
You've got it. In any real language, that mathematical distribution holds true.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that these fungal electrical pulses follow the exact same statistical frequency found in all human languages implies a structured syntax.
So it isn't random noise. It's a physical medium actively encoding and decoding information.
Exactly. A physical network routing resources using a mathematical language.
That is wild. And here's where it gets really interesting, because looking at the sheer durability of it, it completely out-engineers our digital networks.
Oh, without a doubt. Our internet relies on massive single points of failure.
Right, submarine cables, data centers, like a shark bites a cord and an entire region drops offline.
But the mycelium has 0 single points of failure. If an insect or a landslide destroys a section, the network just auto-reroutes the fluid flow through another pathway within hours.
It's completely fault-tolerant.
Very. I mean, it has survived 5 mass extinctions.
Which brings to mind that famous Tokyo experiment, where researchers put a brainless slime mold on a map, dropping food on the spots representing major Tokyo train stations.
Right. And just by following biochemical gradients to get the food efficiently, the slime mold perfectly recreated the layout of the highly optimized Tokyo rail system.
It's crazy. Human engineers spent decades designing urban traffic algorithms, and a brainless fungus solved it in hours.
It really put Silicon Valley to shame.
It does. It flips our technological pride upside down. So next time you walk in a forest, you should remember you are standing on a 450 quadrillion meter planetary-scale supercomputer.
One that processes environmental data from every terrestrial ecosystem simultaneously. It is basically the biosphere's nervous system.
Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought. If this super network acts as the planet's nervous system, what happens when it identifies our industrial activities as a systemic hardware virus?
That is the big unknown.
Right. If it easily survived 5 mass extinctions by adapting and rerouting, you really have to wonder how a planetary-scale intelligence might eventually decide to just quarantine the threat.